We're going to take care of some business today, baby. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And today I should be doing this review with my Elvis sunglasses on that I own, but I gave them to my son. I don't know where they are. And truly, I should be doing this in my Elvis outfit. I used to have a costume. I dressed one Halloween as Elvis, but when my wife and I moved to Arizona, I got rid of it, so I don't have it anymore. So this is how we're going to do it. The movie we're going to talk about is 3,000 Miles to Graceland. This movie came out February 23rd of 2001. It's rated R. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes long. Had a budget of $62 million, and upon release, it bombed. It only made 15.7 in America, and worldwide it only 18.7. So this movie was not well received. It only holds a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, which who gives a shit anyway? It's either you like this film or you don't. And this film was co-written and directed by Damien Lichtenstein. And the big sell for this movie was you had Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner starring in this film. And I love Kurt Russell, and just about any movie he's ever done, I enjoy Kurt Russell. And he's good here as well. He plays Michael. Kevin Costner plays Murphy, and they just got out of prison. They spent some time in prison together. That's how they met. And they planned this. Well, Murphy had the idea of this heist to rob the Riviera Casino. We'll get into that in a second. Courtney Cox plays Sybil in this film, and she's a son named Jesse. She lives out of this hotel that Michael is staying at before they do the robbery. We have Christian Slater as Hanson. He is part of the crew that's going to rob the Riviera. So is David Arquette's Gus. He is a part of the crew. Bokeem Woodbine plays Franklin, and he is also part of the crew that's going to rob the Riviera Casino. Then we got Howie Long in this film as Jack. He is this guy who Murphy pays to get them out of Vegas on a helicopter once they rob the casino. We got Thomas Hayden Church in this film as a U.S. Marshal. So is Kevin Pollak. He's also a U.S. Marshal. They're partners. We got John Lovitz in this film, and Ice-T is Hamilton. When Ice-T shows up, it's not till the end of the film. It's like, what the F is Ice-T doing in this film? But he's only in it for 5 minutes at the end of the film. But this is a large cast of notable people in this film. And basically, at the start of the film, and actually, this is not the first time. Obviously, they dressed as Elvis impersonators. They robbed the Riviera Casino during an Elvis convention. Now, this isn't the first time Kurt Russell has played Elvis. In 1979, he played Elvis for John Carpenter's made-for-TV film called Elvis. And in 1963, Kurt Russell co-starred with Elvis in It Happened at the World's Fair. Matter of fact, there's a moment in this film where Sybil's son, Jesse, kicks Kurt Russell's character in the shin. That's right out of It Happened at the World's Fair. Kurt Russell, as a child, did the same thing to Elvis in that film. So I thought that was pretty cool that they put that in there. And Michael checks into this hotel, meets Sybil, and they have, right away, she's attracted to him, and they have sex. So they're connected already. And then he meets with Murphy and the other guys, and they get dressed in their Elvis costumes. Kurt Russell's in his white costume. Murphy's in a black costume, and that's supposed to be foreshadowing about their relationship going forward, where Kurt Russell's the good guy, Kevin Costner's the bad guy. And that's very much what happens. Although I would say Kurt Russell's character is more of an anti-hero type character, a lot like Snake Plissken, than he is an actual hero. But he does heroic stuff throughout the film. And they go to Riviera, and Kurt Russell's job is to get the elevator, hack the elevator, and get it to the floor where the other guys need it so they can get out of the casino after they rob the money room. So Murphy, Hanson, Gus, and Franklin go to the money room, rob it, and are going through. Now, the casino's filled with Elvis impersonators. They're going across the casino floor, and they're being tracked by casino security. But security doesn't start firing until this one security guard sees them, turns and pulls his gun, and then all hell breaks loose in this casino. And a really cool action scene for sure. It's very violent, very bloody. And they get out, but not before Franklin, Bokeem Woodbine's character, gets shot in the elevator. And they get to the roof of the parking garage. After some time, Howie Long's character shows up, gets him out in the elevator, but unfortunately, Bokeem Woodbine's character dies, and they throw him out of the helicopter into the desert. They go back to the hotel room, split the money, and then there's some double crossing because Christian Slater's character isn't happy with the split of Bokeem Woodbine's money. He pulls a gun on Murphy. Murphy ends up shooting and killing him. So they take him out in the desert to bury him, but Murphy turns the tables on Michael and David Arquette's character and shoots them. Little does he know that Michael has a bulletproof vest on. And on the way back to the hotel, Kevin Costner's character hits a coyote and crashes the car in the desert and passes out. And Michael makes it back to the hotel, finds the money, has sex with Sybil again, and then they're going to hit the road together because he realizes he needs them to get out of this situation. And they act like they're family, and they take off on the road. And that's pretty much the initial setup. All this gets set up in the first 25 minutes of the film. And then the film kind of goes from a heist film into a road movie, where Kurt Russell's character, Sybil, and Jesse are trying to get to Twin Falls, Idaho to go to this guy, John Lovitz's characters, to have him clean the money for them. He's going to give them, I think it's 70 cents on the dollar for every dollar they have, because they can't use the money right out of a casino. And on the way, Sybil kind of screws over Michael in a way, and he gets stuck with the kid, and Murphy's in hot pursuit. And Murphy takes Courtney Cox's character hostage. Kurt Russell gets him back, and then towards the end of all this double-crossing, Murphy takes Jesse hostage, the kid. And now Michael and Sybil have to get him back. And they call the cops and report this, because at this point, the cops aren't even looking for Michael. They're looking for Murphy. Thomas Hayden Church's character and Kevin Pollak's character are looking for Murphy because he has a record. And they didn't see Michael on the security footage. They're after Murphy. He did all the killing pretty much, or most of the killing on the casino floor, and the other guys are dead. So as far as they know, they're just after Murphy. And they also throw in there in the plot about Murphy and Michael both are Elvis's, it was never proven, but they're Elvis's children. And they do play it up a little bit. The DNA tests were unconclusive, but both men believe they are Elvis's children. They play that up a little bit. It comes up here and there. But Michael, towards the end, he just wants to get to his yacht, basically, that was left to him by his father. It says Graceland on it, and he's holding a gold record, which makes you believe, the audience believe, that he actually is Elvis's kid, and Elvis knew that before he passed away. I thought that was a nice little touch. I like that aspect of it, because Elvis is in the movie, the presence of Elvis, with them dressed as Elvis, and they talk about Elvis, is in it a lot. And basically at the end, we get this final shootout in this warehouse, and Ice-T shows up. It's supposed to be this badass enforcer, although he makes a tactical, awful decision to go on this line down. He's like, almost like ziplining across this way, and all the cops are shooting, and he shoots a couple cops, but he gets killed really quick. It's like, this guy, if he's supposed to be so good, he just got killed in like 10 seconds. What the hell is going on here? But it's a pretty cool shootout, very violent, like the rest of the film. And at the end, Michael sets up Murphy because he gives him a bag with no money in it. Murphy has a final shootout with the cops and dies on the bathroom floor like Elvis did in real life, paralleling that. And Michael, Sybil, and Jesse go on Michael's yacht, and they sail off, and that's the end of the film. I gotta be honest, watching this, I bought the DVD back in 2001 and was released on DVD, and I always enjoyed this film, but I hadn't seen it in a while, so I bought it on iTunes in high def, and I watched it last night, and I really had a good time with this film. Yes, there's a couple things that don't make a whole lot of sense, or there's some unnecessary shit in this film, like in the beginning of the film, when the credits are rolling, there's this awful CGI, two scorpions fighting each other that have no reason to be there. It's like, why did you spend money on that? It has nothing to do with the rest of the film, really. Except for, the only thing it foreshadows a little bit is at the end when Michael screws over Murphy, and Murphy checks the bag and finds just cut of paper in there instead of cash. This CGI scorpion comes out and stings Murphy in the hand. But it never comes into a reason why he dies. He dies by gunfire from the police. Why that's there, I have no idea. And there's another thing. Once Murphy's in pursuit of Michael, he stops at this gas station in the middle of the desert. And besides this cool-looking explosion that happens, because he blows up the gas station, it's an unnecessary stop. It really is. It just slows the movie down just for a few minutes for no reason whatsoever. We've already established that Murphy's the bad guy, but he's not... He's a son of a bitch, but he's not totally bad. He does show some empathy towards Jesse towards the end when he kidnaps him. Like, he could just kill the kid, and he doesn't. But he's definitely a bad guy. He's not a good guy in any stretch of the imagination. So there's this scene at this gas station, again, besides the big explosion, it has no reason to be there. But overall, I like this film. It's a fun film. Is this like one of the best action movies of all time? No, and I wouldn't even it doesn't even deserve to be called like a guilty pleasure. I think it's a solid action film with an interesting story, and obviously the big selling point and why the film works so much is because of Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner plays a great bad guy. He's ruthless when he has to be, and he'll kill anybody he has to get this money. And Kurt Russell's always awesome, no matter what film he's in. But the supporting cast is really good as well, and I like Michael and Sybil's relationship by the end of the film. At first, I remember when I first saw it, I didn't think I would care for Courtney Cox's character, but by the end of the film, she grew on me, and the relationship made sense towards the end of the film. But overall, I really like this film. It's a well-done action film. There's some shit in the movie that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's some scenes and the way it's shot, I'm like, why would you do that? But overall, you can have a good time with this film. And it hinges on the performances of Kevin Costner and Kurt Russell. If they didn't work, this movie wouldn't be as good. Yes, the rest of the cast is good and they do good work here, but they're the two characters that really have to work for this movie to be good, or, for you to enjoy this film. And I do enjoy this film. It's a good time to sit down and watch. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes long, but it breezed by last night when I watched it. I would give this film a 7 out of 10. I think it's a really solid action film that doesn't really get talked about enough, really. I mean, I know it bombed upon release, but I don't see too many people talking about this. But if you've never seen it, it's available on digital. You could buy a Blu-ray on Amazon. I think it's like $21 for it on Amazon. I bought it on Apple iTunes for $12, and it's worth your investment if you like these kind of films. It's a fun movie with some fun performances. I would give 3,000 Miles of Graceland a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back next week with some more reviews. Until then, I hope you all have a kick-ass weekend. Bye.